mass energy, nature will contrive a way, either by beta decay, or by neutron or proton emission, or by alpha emission, to get to that lowest mass energy level. And all of that came out of the now corrected semi-empirical mass formula, which, whilst it certainly isn't perfect by any means, but at this level it gives a very good indication of why you have only some stable nuclei, why you have some unstable nuclei, and why some nuclei just don't seem to exist at all. Final point to make is that in general, the greater the mass difference between the start point and the end point, the faster the decay will happen. So if you have a large mass difference, the half-life for that is the time for half of its change, will be very fast indeed. Hello. Today we're going to look at the strength of the nuclear force. The nuclear force holds the nucleus together, and in doing so it overcomes the Coulomb force, which is the force that acts between protons which are positively charged. And the Coulomb force is of course a repulsive force, so it's tending to push the protons apart and make the nucleus less stable. The nuclear force holds the nucleus together and is therefore more powerful than the Coulomb force. But what is the nuclear force? Well, you might think that it could be gravity, but it can't possibly be gravity for this reason, that the gravitational force would be equal to G times the mass of one particle times the mass of the other divided by the distance between them. Well, G is approximately 6 times 10 to the minus 11. The masses of, whether they be protons or neutrons, are of the order of 10 to the minus 27 kilograms. So that's 10 to the minus 27 times 10 to the minus 27. I'm only doing this in order of magnitude. Divided by r squared. Well, let's say that the distance between a proton and a neutron is 10 to the minus 15 meters. Then r squared would be 10 to the minus 30. And ignore the numbers, let's just look at the order of magnitudes. You've got minus 27, that's minus 54, minus 11. That's 10 to the minus 65, divided by 10 to the minus 30, which is 10 to the minus 35 newtons. So the gravitational attraction between two protons, or a proton and a neutron, or two neutrons, that are separated by 1/30, 10 to the minus 15 meters, is a measly 10 to the minus 35 newtons. Compare that with the Coulomb force, which of course will only act between two protons. Well, the Coulomb force is going to be Q1, Q2, where those are the charges on the protons, divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r squared. Well, again, the charge is 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19, so that's squared. That's Q1, Q2, because that's the charge on the proton. 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0, 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0 is 9 times 10 to the 9, which is almost 10 to the 10. And that's going to be divided by the r squared term, which again is going to be 10 to the minus 30. And if you again ignore the numbers, we'll call this 10 to the 10, plus 10 to the minus 38 is 10 to the minus 28, divided by 10 to the minus 30, which is 10 squared newtons. So 10 to the minus 28 over 10 to the minus 30 is 10 squared newtons, it's 100 newtons. So the repulsive Coulomb force would be 100 newtons. The gravitational attractional force is 10 to the minus 35 newtons. No hope. Gravity cannot be responsible for the nuclear force. Now we'll just pause for a moment and think, how do we know anything that we know about the nucleus? Well, you remember it all started with Rutherford scattering. He sent alpha particles into a gold foil and observed how the particles scattered. Indeed, some of them even backscattered. And by looking at the scattering, he was able to make a deduction that the atom, far from being a kind of solid mass, which people had thought it was, consisted of a very small nucleus with orbiting electrons. And most of the atom was completely empty, which is why most of the alpha particles just went straight through, because there was nothing to stop them. The size or the diameter of an atom is of the order of 10 to the minus 10 meters. The order of magnitude of the diameter of a nucleus is about 10 to the minus 14 meters. In other words, the atom is 10,000 times bigger than the nucleus. So if you want to sort of scale this all up, if you represent the atom by the size of a room, the nucleus would be represented by a small grain of sand in the middle of the room. Now the next question is, how do we see anything that we see? The way we see it is that, if I'm looking at another person, that light shines on that person and is reflected back to my eye, and that light has interacted with the person and comes back to me and reveals something about that person, the colour of the dress they're wearing, or the colour of their hair, whatever it may be. But in order to do that, the wavelength of the light has to be of the order of, or very much less than, the thing that you're looking at. Now light has a wavelength, ordinary visible light has a wavelength of the order of 10 to the minus 7 meters. the up quark and the down quark. There are 4 others, which I describe in my video on the Standard Model, but we don't need to know about those for today. Suffice to say that a proton is made up of 2 up quarks and down quark, and a neutron is made of 2 down quarks and an up quark. So that's the proton, that's the neutron. Those quarks are electrically charged. An up quark has a charge of 2/3 of that of an electron, but it's and down, which is a proton, that will be 2/3 minus 1/3, that gives you +1. So that is why the proton has a charge of +1, whereas for a neutron, 2 downs and an up, 2 lots of minus 1/3 plus 2/3 is 0. And that is why the neutron has no charge. But notice that the neutron does have charged particles within it. It's just that overall, the charge is 0. But these quarks have another kind of charge. It's called colour charge, from which we get quantum chromodynamics. Now, as I said before, it has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with what we understand in the classical world by colour. It is simply a means of labelling the kind of charge that exists. If it's not an electrical charge, it's different, and it's been called a colour charge. And the colours are red, green and blue. And in any nucleon, you get one of each. So you get a red quark, a green quark, and a blue quark, or in the neutron, a red quark, a green quark, and a blue quark. And the point about these is that rather like electrical charges, like charges repel, unlike charges attract. So a red will repel a red, but it will attract a blue and a green. So consequently, because you've got 3 different colours inside a nucleon, that's the reason why that nucleon is stable and why the quarks stay within it, because each is attracting the other 2. If you were to try to put another red quark in there, then of course the existing red quark would repel it. So we've got stable nuclei. It's also the case that just as if you had something with a plus and a minus, that would net out to 0, it's also the case that a red plus a green plus a blue is effectively charge neutral. So once you've got a red and a green and a blue, you've got a 0 or a neutral colour charge. Now it is, and I'm talking very simplistically here, it is the colour charges, the reds attracting the blues and the greens and so on, that explain why the quarks are held together within the nucleon. That is the nuclear force. That's the nature of the nuclear force. What it doesn't, of course, explain is why there should be a nuclear force between nucleons. And to explain this, I want to go up to the molecular level, and I want to consider the molecule hydrogen fluoride. Now, the point about hydrogen fluoride is that hydrogen has 1 electron, that's all it has. In its outer shell, fluorine has 7, 2, 4, 6, and an odd 1. It essentially would like to have 8, and then it would be a complete shell, but it only has 7. So what hydrogen does is it kind of lends its electron to the chlorine, so that chlorine now has 8 electrons in its valence shell, its outer shell. But because hydrogen, as if it were, lent its electron, it is essentially net positively charged. And because chlorine has got a little bit extra, 1 extra electron, it is essentially negatively charged. So although the molecule as a whole of hydrogen fluoride is neutral, it has a neutral charge. The bit towards the hydrogen atom is marginally positively charged, and the bit towards the chlorine atom is marginally negatively charged, which means that when another hydrogen fluoride molecule comes up with this kind of dipole arrangement, it's a bit more positively charged on one side, a bit more negatively charged on the other. The negative charge here and the positive charge here attract, and you get a bond. It's one of the ways in which you get molecular bonding. Now, in the same way, but keeping it very simple, this is what happens within nucleons. You can get a red and a blue and a green, which from a distance simulates a net zero colour charge. And then you bring another nucleon, whether it be, this could be either neutrons or protons or a neutron and a proton, and you have red, blue and green. The blue and the green here are close enough that they can do the same sort of thing as the hydrogen chloride did. This blue, if it were far enough away, would simply see a colour zero charge. But if it's close, it will see the green is slightly more close than the others. So there's a net charge, there's a net force between the blue and the green that is attracted, and that is called the residual nuclear force. Now, it is actually much more complicated than that. It involves the exchange of pions, and I have done another video where I deal with that in a little bit more detail. But in essence, I'm trying to show you how the nuclear force is binding the nucleons together. Now, experimentally, we can find out what the shape of the nuclear force is. Now, I'm actually going to draw this in terms of what's called the nuclear potential. You often hear people talk about nuclear potential. What they mean is nuclear potential energy. I'm sorry that the camera keeps refocusing. I thought I had set it to fixed focus. I had done that, and somehow it's now playing up. I thought I would check it later. But anyway, if it keeps fiddling around with its focus, that's the reason. Sorry. If you actually plot the nuclear potential, which is the nuclear potential energy, against R, which is the separation between two nucleons, the shape of the force, or in this case the shape of the potential, is something like this, where this is the negative side and is therefore the binding side, so it's the attractive bit, and this is the positive and therefore, as it were, the repulsive bit. So what it tells you is that when the two nucleons are very close together, almost touching, the nuclear force is repulsive, it repels, in order to stop two nucleons from crashing into and indeed merging with one another. But over the greater part of this bit here, you've got an attractive force. This is the force that's holding the nucleons together. But when you get out to a certain radius, R0, the nuclear force has pretty much fallen to zero. So beyond that, two nucleons do not experience a nuclear force. And we know that, actually if I just call this not R0 but R is equal to R0 times A to the 1/3 is, we've done that in previous videos, that the radius of a nucleus is equal to a constant multiplied by the number of nucleons to the power 1/3, or the cube root of the number of nucleons. So let's consider the simplest attraction of all, which is the attraction between two nucleons. And we want therefore a stable atom that has just two nucleons, and that of course is a deuteron, which has a proton and a neutron, and that is essentially heavy hydrogen. That is its chemical symbol. It has one proton, it has one neutron, so it has two nucleons. And there is a nuclear force operating between those two nucleons. So there's no other nucleons to bother about, so this is the simplest form. And we can measure experimentally. We can identify the binding energy of this neutron, which I'm going to call minus 2.225 MeV minus, because it's the binding energy, it's an attractive energy. It holds the nucleus together. You would have to put 2.225 MeV of energy into the neutron to get the proton and the neutron liberated. And the radius R, capital R, is 2.1 vermes, which is 2.1 times 10 to the minus 15 meters.